What's happening, people? Back with another classical reaction. Indeed, I apologize, I've been lagging on this playlist and I've been taking forever to get through the Carnival of the Animals. The next time I do a classical session, which should be in maybe 2-3 days at most, I'm going to do all the remaining tracks in Carnival of the Animals and kick off the next journey in the classical reactions. I feel like I've been very remiss in this category. Nevertheless, I've been reacting to the 70s, and I've yet to get to the material in the 80s, but 70s and 80s disco pop group Arabesque. And it made me think that somewhere on my computer, surely I had a copy of Claude Debussy's Arabesque number 1. There's a couple of them that I'm familiar with. I don't know if those are all the ones that he wrote, but I think number 1 is most famous among his piano pieces. Certainly one of his most famous works. Clair de Lune, obviously, is perhaps the most famous of all, but nevertheless, I do think this piece is very well known. I've heard different versions of it. We're going to hear it here on like a traditional piano. I have heard it on an organ before, and it was very fantastic in that setting as well. And the soloist here is François-Joël, I'm not sure if it's like Thiollier. It's like Thiollier, so I don't know if that's Thiollier or a different pronunciation. Nevertheless, François-Joël Thiollier, maybe. And this is from a release that's like early 2000s. Again, I have a whole lot of classical CDs. I've only begun to go through like the tiniest fraction of the top of the, or the tip of the iceberg in that regard. But about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, I began to put some classical music on computers. Now, I've gotten, different computers since then, but I keep transferring the music. So I believe this recording is from like '07 or something to that effect, and it was on a, greatest piano pieces type of compilation. So I'm not sure, I don't have the disc anymore, I don't think. I went through recently, and I tried to find this one specifically, I couldn't. So in any case, this is Claude Debussy's Arabesque number 1 as performed by François-Joël, I think, Thiollier, and away we go. different renderings of it. I'm sure some people will, have other performances that are preferred, but ultimately, I think it's a great performance. I just love the sort of light, babbling brook feel of those downward cascades. It sort of goes up to that very sweet, high, tender moment, and then it just, it falls like beautiful cascading water. So I've always loved that piece. And yeah, bottom line, I was thinking of it recently because I've been reacting to Arabesque, so just a brief interruption of the Carnival of the Animals. And again, to the people who follow the classical playlist or who, are joining it, there's a lot in the background if you are just joining this. I've gone through entire symphonies and other pieces and so on. Nevertheless, I have been a bit remiss lately, so I'm going to try to get back on a more regular classical program. So, as I said, next time I come back, I'll do at least the remaining tunes in Carnival of the Animal. I think there's like 3 or 4 left at most, and they're all, like a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes at most long. And then we'll be on to something else that I already have in mind. So, in any case, from Luca and I, do let me know what you think of this, and I will see you next time. Peace.